Hey, here we're going to do some linear applications, which basically means we're going to write some equations based off of word problems. So the first one here, it says, after breaking through the soil, a plant grows at a rate of 2 centimeters a day. Now, as soon as you see that thing here that says rate of 2 centimeters a day, you should start thinking of a slope, or you should start thinking of an m. And this is getting bigger from the description, but let's see. Let's read the rest of it. We might need to change our mind. It says, write a function that calculates the height of the plant after d days of sprouting. Now, we can call our function anything we like, but let's see here. I think the best thing to call here is a height function. So h of d, since it tells us to use d as the input. And what happens here is it grows at a rate of 2 per day. And when it breaks through the soil, there is no height. So that initial value, or that b, when you're thinking about a y equals mx plus b, the b there is 0. So I think h of d equals 2d is good enough. So after 4 days, it would have grown 2 centimeters 4 times, which would be 8 centimeters, which makes perfect sense with our function we wrote. The next one, Sammy's Construction is renovating a hotel that has 325 rooms. He can complete 4 rooms a week. So right now, what it looks like is we've probably got an initial value of 325, and we've probably got a rate of 4 rooms per week. So let's see how this goes. It says, write a function showing the number of rooms left to renovate after W weeks. So definitely we have a starting amount, or a B, of 325. But what's happening here is we have 4 less rooms every week. So I think a good way to write the slope would be -4. So we can write the function again using any letters we want. I'll use R for rooms and W for weeks. So R of W. So what happens here? If we use the mx plus b, we can say it's minus 4W plus 325. We start with 325 rooms and we're going down 4 per week. Nothing wrong with that. We could write it, and it might make a little bit more sense, to write as R of W equals 325 minus 4W. I know sometimes people don't like to start a function with a negative number if they can help it. Also, it kind of makes sense in some aspects that you're starting at 325 and you're going down. So 325 minus 4W is perfectly acceptable if that's the route you go. Both of these are wonderful answers. The last thing it asks in that problem is, how many rooms are left after How many rooms are left to renovate after 20 weeks? Well, most people would probably do this in their head, but R of 20 would mean either one of these we use, 325 minus 4 times 20. So we're taking 325 minus 80, so I think that turns out to be 245. Let me pick up the calculator to double check. 325 minus 80. Yes, 245 rooms left to renovate. Okay, and let's go ahead and do the practice problems on this page. So, practice problem 1, Ms. Smith has a total of 83 students in all her classes. She can grade 5 reports an hour. Write a function that evaluates the number of reports she has left to grade after h hours. So let's see here. What do we have? We have 83 students. That makes like a great B, a great starting amount. And she can grade 5 per hour. That's a good M, but let's see. How is this function going to do? Write a function that evaluates the number of reports she has left. So she's going to remove 5 reports every hour. So we'll make our slope -5. So once again, let's just use R for reports per hour. So R of H equals, and we can use -5H plus 83, or we could write it as R of H equals 83 minus 5H if you like. Practice problem 2. Arnold rents a moving truck for $40 and also has to pay 35 cents per mile. Write a function that calculates the total cost of renting the truck when traveling M miles. Okay, so let's look at this. $40 is kind of like a fixed cost. So he has to pay $40 no matter how much he drives, and then he has to pay 35 cents per mile. So that 35 cents is a rate and it's a M and it's adding to its total. So the function here, so let's see here. Let's see, we'll say it cost per mile, so C of M. So we can make that in mx plus b form, 0.35 M plus 40. And then it says, what is the rental cost for traveling 90 miles? So we'll say C of 90 would be 0.35 times 90 plus 40. So let's see. The cost to drive 90 miles after renting the truck, I'm going to use my calculator. Looks like it is $71.50. Okay. So the function says that it would cost him $71.50 to pay the $40 rental fee and the 35 cents per mile for 90 miles. All right, good job.